visualizing, visioning, meditation, and to stay in harmony with preparing myself to take on this task. So this past July, I decided that the first 3 weeks of July that I would put this concentrated effort into starting to sort and go through all of these things. And for 3 weeks, I had 3 large trash containers filled every week for the trash to be taken away. And in Riverside, where I live, you get 2 free curbside pickups for things that are too large to put in your trash can. So I had this curbside pickup. And so that evening, Wednesday evening, my son helped me put all these things out there. And so they pick everything up early Thursday morning. And when I looked out Thursday morning, half of it was gone. And it was all the metal stuff, you know, the TVs and the old computers and, you just name it. But in its place, someone gave me an old refrigerator and an old mattress. And I thought, this is free. So whoever did this in the neighborhood, I thought, well, you know, what's up with this? But I felt, well, this is the way it goes. But I gave away so many usable things. The one neighbor has a lot of grandchildren and children. It's a huge family. And at Christmas, they decorate their lawn with all the things in the house. And I've had this 7-foot Christmas tree that I hadn't used for 3 years in a box in the garage. All the lights, all the decorations that I hadn't used for 3 years. I said, well, it's going, you know, take it over there. I told my son, they thought it was Christmas in July for them. So it was really wonderful. And so my affirmation, feeling good about myself in this journey, is I'm more than capable of completing this task in a timely manner. So I'm about 60% finished with the garage. So the other 40% is a process. And I find that everything is a balance. So remembering to take care of myself through this process, because when you start releasing and throwing things out, you really need to be sure you fill that void with something that's going to serve you. So I had to keep myself in prayer and meditation every day. That's a spiritual practice, that's a given. Prayer, absolutely. Meditation, yes. I did journaling. Everything to keep myself balanced and centered in this process of using that power within me for the good that I wanted to experience. And this is nothing new to probably all of you. I know that we have a tendency to put things off or pile things up or whatever it may be. But there's always that opportunity to prepare yourself to experience the joy of just giving those things away and creating a wonderful void, but you have to fill it for something that's good for yourself. So the next thing, I'll ask my assistant to come up. This will be our second. And we'll read together. So, okay. So, can we read this together? Change your thinking, change your life. Now, this statement, thank you, Roberta, this statement is a basic principle of science of mind. I mean, we hear this all the time. Change your thinking, change your life. And then you wonder, well, how do I do that? Well, that's what I was saying. You know, the classwork, the meditation, the visioning, the prayer work. It's all of this is within you. It's not something outside of yourself. But I always look at change your thinking, change your life as learning how to tie your shoes. You know how frustrating when you're a child to learn to start tying your shoes? And the same if you ever taken a typing class or any kind of class. I mean, once you've mastered it, it's wonderful. It's fabulous. It feels so empowering. And those skills you keep for the rest of your life. So that's part of changing your thinking, change your life. If you can relate to that, just think about some of the patterns that maybe you continue to say or do, and they are very frustrating. And you're not very happy with the results, so you change your thinking. So that's how we speak about the glass being half full, or or half empty. But it's the process of using your words. So Ernest Holmes, he was a very ingenious mystic, I call him, because change your thinking, change your life is a foundation that all of us can identify with. whether you're a religious scientist or not. It just is the way it is. So we have our meditation service in the morning here. We have our bookstore. We have classes. We have all the tools that you need to use to change your thinking, change your life. And the Science of Mind magazine is a wonderful place to start if you're not familiar with our philosophy. So sometimes it just takes the time to slow down and take a deep breath. And in the book by Ernest Holmes, he wrote many books, and we have that in our bookstore, many of his writings. This thing called You. And it said, Jesus was one of his favorite persons to quote, "It is done unto you as you believe." He not only announced the law of faith, he explained how it works. It's the law operates upon your faith, and all laws are universal. They all exist wherever you are. That's just like gravity. It's invisible, but it works for you and works for everyone on the planet the same way. So these are the laws that we talk about, and it's just common sense that the law will work through you, and it does for you, and it must do that through you. So reflecting on that again is the mirror image. So if you believe wherever you go you meet love and friendship, and people are appreciating you, and you come from gratitude, then that will become the law of your life. So having faith is the most important thing that you can use. And Jesus said to love your enemies. Love your enemies. So be kind to everyone. And give, and it shall be given unto you. What a better place this world would be if we used love and more of it. So that's the gift that we try to emulate in our lives, of giving ourselves more love so we can put out more love in the world. It may seem too good to be true, but if you try it, just put it to the test, the law will respond. So I asked my assistant for the last time, we have our third affirmation. Okay, what do you want? Can you read that, please, and say it together? What do you want? Now, this is, some of us really don't know what we want. We say we do, but I hear a lot of this, well, if only I had $1 million, or if only he would do this, or if only she would do that, and on and on and on. So think about it. What do you really want? I was talking to one of my students, I should say a past student, and her name is Nancy Cam. She gave me permission, and she documented her demonstration. She sent everything, and it's absolutely beautiful how this unfolded. When she came into class, this is about 3 years ago, her life was not really working for her, to say the least. She had a lot of doubt, a lot of fear, a lot of worry, and lack, low self-esteem, and her relationships with her family and her children was very poor. And her financial business wasn't doing that well. Now today, I won't read these 2 pages of documentation of her complete demonstration from the beginning, but this is absolutely phenomenal. But she has today, she's retired, she has a brand new Camry, and she has a wonderful relationship with her family and her children, and her being the shining example has made her children decide to come into this philosophy of Science of Mind. Isn't that something? And so she's reconnected with them in such a loving way, and her children are so inspired, and they have this open communication, and it's built on the principles of religious science. So all of her demonstrations are just an out-picturing of her faith and of her consciousness. It's no different than any one of you that are here. It's the same for everyone. It really makes, I think, the fact that she made this demonstration, the fact she absolutely worked with a practitioner, she went to classes, she did her journaling, she does her visioning, her prayer work daily. This is something, it's a way of life. It just is. And so I really thank her for allowing me to share that story with everyone. And so we just come from a place of love. And so that is really what we're about, just a place of love. So when I say about God's bucket, it's just filled, overflowing with love. So in your bulletin, I think there's a yellow affirmation that we can all say together. If you got one of these. I could give you a chance to get it out. Okay. So let's read this together. I am the love of God. I am guided by love. I am supported by love. I'm the expression of love. I lovingly give love to all, and I'm love of God. Love, love, love. We sang about that, and we absolutely feel that in the sanctuary. So the challenge I have for you this week is